I just walked in on my husband making out with my sister. Please help. I am absolutely devastated right now. I don't know what to do. I don't even know where to start. My sister, Lisa, lost her husband Jimmy 2 years ago in a motorcycle accident. She did not take it well and closed herself off from the world. A year ago, she reached out to us and told us she was having a hard time adjusting and said that she needed help. I helped her find a good therapist and she's been getting her life back on track. My husband Rick felt bad for her and started spending a lot of time with her. For the past 6 months, they have spent more and more time together. At first, I was fine with it because she was finally becoming like my sister again. She started smiling. I was so happy for her, and so was my husband. They started spending more time alone from me, which I didn't think much of at first. When they started spending more and more time alone, I got a little jealous. I told my husband I would like it if we could spend some more time together and that I was feeling a little neglected. He said okay, but nothing changed. Today, my sister came to my house crying because she had a dream about Jimmy. My husband and I comforted her, but I was a little annoyed because the second I let her in my house, she ran into my husband's arms. We all went into the living room and sat down. My husband asked her what happened in the dream, and she actually asked me to leave the room because she didn't feel comfortable telling me. I was so upset at this point, I immediately left and started tearing up in the other room. I was in the other room for around 10 minutes when I heard a loud sound in the living room, so I got up and went there. I could not believe what I saw. I am literally crying my eyes out while typing this up. They were effing making out. On my couch, in our home. What the hell do I do? My entire frickin' world has just been shattered in front of my very eyes. I ran out of the room because I was going to vomit right there, and I locked myself in my room. My husband hasn't even tried to come in. I have been crying non-stop. Please help. The two people I trusted more than anything. What the hell do I do? Edit. Well, I answered the door. Rick walked in and wouldn't even look at me. He mumbled something and went and sat on the bed. I was so angry that he wouldn't even look at me that I almost left right there. I asked him what the hell was going on with him and my sister. He sat there for a few minutes without saying anything while I was crying my eyes out until I finally yelled at him to answer me. He whispered that he loved her. At this point, I lost it. I started yelling, "How could you do this to me?" Do these past 10 years mean nothing to him? Literally dropped to my knees and asked him how he could betray me with my own sister and then tell me he loves her. He was quiet the entire time until I stopped yelling. He said that he had been regretting not experimenting with other women before we got married and that he shouldn't have married the first girl he was with. I was stunned and asked if he even ever loved me. He said yes, but that after spending time with my sister, he realizes she is who he wants to be with. I had no words. I didn't have any clue what to say. All my life was falling apart in front of my eyes and I was scared. I told him I might be pregnant and he said that he would support me. I asked how, and he said he didn't know, but that he was leaving me to go be with my sister. He apologized to me and told me that I deserve better than him and that he will do whatever he can to help me and the baby, and if I agree to divorce him, he will give me everything. He just wants out of our marriage. In that moment, I felt like I hated him and never wanted to see him again. So I screamed at him, "Fine, just get the F out. You ruined my life. I hope you're happy, you piece of crap." And then he had the audacity to try to hug me. I flipped out and pushed him off of me. Someone knocked on the door, then he told me that he still loved me and we would figure everything out and left. I decided to call my parents and tell them what happened. My mum dropped a bombshell on me that my sister had told her that she had feelings for my husband and that she wanted to be with him. Why she didn't tell me this, I have no effing clue, but I feel like everyone's against me. Right now I'm sitting on the computer looking up lawyers in my area. My entire life has gone to shambles within hours and I am terrified. Tomorrow I'm going to get a pregnancy test. I just hope to effing God I am not pregnant because I do not want to have this piece of crap's baby. God, guys, I am so freaking upset right now. I want to just drink right now, but I won't in case I am pregnant. Jesus, I hate my life. And now in the comments, "Oh, honey, that is terrible. Being betrayed by your husband and your sister together at once in front of your eyes? Holy crap, I'd be losing it too. I'm feeling sad as hell for you right now, just from the pain that I can read in your post. Don't think too far into the future right now. Just deal with the immediate. Who can come stay with you? Tell your husband and sister to leave, that you do not want to see or speak to them until further notice. Give yourself time and space to lay out your options and do what is best for you. Take care of yourself right now. Put yourself first and reach out for help from friends that you can count on. I wish I had more advice. I'm just really, really sorry this happened to you. You asked, what the hell do I do? Hi. First of all, stating the obvious, this is a horrible situation. From what I gather, it seems like you're alone too. I hope your friend calls you back, but if not, send me a PM and vent to me. Anyway, as awful as this sounds, I urge you to show some restraint. Only because, being so close to home, there are going to be two stories to this one. Your sister's one and the truth. If you go around calling everyone a C-word, then it won't do you any good in the long run. There is a lot to be said for maintaining a quiet dignity when your world is falling apart, of which it has done. That means no texts, no angry calls, no Facebook status updates, no clothes on the front lawn, etc. What's done is done. They've made their bed and they can have it. The reason why I suggest this is that you don't need everyone else turning against you too. If you get all yelly and angry, they can use this. Once again, I am so sorry that this has happened to you. This is awful. This is fantastic advice. Airing your dirty laundry in public is guaranteed to make you look at least partially to blame, which you absolutely are not in this case. They are going to regret this so much when the fantasy turns into reality. I really hope you are not pregnant. This is exactly what I expect to happen. This crap never ends up working out. How exactly do they think the rest of the family is going to deal with this? Welcome them to the family gatherings with open arms? Not likely. I've done a lot of really stupid things in my 37 years, but I am happy I am not that utterly stupid. In reference to the husband and sister, not the OP. Just making sure everyone doesn't misunderstand. And now on to the update. Thank you everyone for your kind words and PMs. Your words really helped me when I was in the lowest possible spot that I've been in. A lot has happened since I woke up. First of all, I am no longer going to refer to Lisa as my sister because she is not my sister any longer. I woke up this morning and I felt like complete crap and I didn't want to get up. I went and got a pregnancy test, and thank effing God I am not pregnant. It was bittersweet because we've been trying to get pregnant for a while now, and I never thought that I'd be so glad to see that I wasn't pregnant. I am really upset over the way things have turned out, and now I'm having these weird feelings that I want to be pregnant after all. I don't know what's going on, but it's just adding on another difficult layer of crap going on right now. A little while after I left the house to get groceries, and when I opened my mailbox, there was a letter in it from Lisa. After I got home, I opened it, and I read it. I'm not going to rewrite it because I cannot even stand to look at that letter again. Basically, it said that she apologizes for how things turned out, and she explained to me that she was very vulnerable after losing her husband, that after spending so much time with my husband, she started to fall for him, and that she thought she wouldn't ever love anyone else ever again, so when she realized she loved my husband, she knew she couldn't let him go. No one else can fill the hole in her heart. Lisa promised they never physically did anything before that kiss I caught them in, and she went on to say she needs me in her life, and that she hopes I can forgive her. I can't write any more about this right now. I might add in the rest later. I am a frickin' mess. Rick called me a little while ago. I didn't pick up the phone, so he texted me, and he told me that he still loves me, and that we can find a way to work this out. I don't know what the hell that means, since he just left me for Lisa. Now I'm really confused, because now that I'm not pregnant, I want to be, and I want my marriage not to be over, even though I hate him for what he's done to me. And why would he text me that? Is he changing his mind? I am so confused. I wish these past few days never happened, so there would be nothing wrong still. I know I shouldn't forgive him if he wants another chance, but 10 years of marriage. We were gonna be parents. I'm so confused and hurt I can't even think straight. And now in the comments, your sister has some nerve telling you that she won't let him go, but wants you in her life. It is a nightmare scenario, and you were totally justified in cutting her off for life. Whether he wants to get back together or not, I wouldn't let that be up to him. I would cut him off as well. get your bank account sorted out, change your number. I could see somehow getting past cheating, but cheating with your sister is just so scummy. If he couldn't help himself in that situation, then but everyone else is right. Be good to yourself today, ignore them, and try to find a little peace before making lifelong decisions. You can and will be okay. Yeah, I'm surprised that with her sister's own husband being torn away from her, by death though, which is serious, she's perfectly okay with tearing her own sister's husband away. What a selfish woman. You have an acute case of what I call sad person brain. A person with SPB just wants to not be sad anymore, and will make terrible choices that will reduce short-term sadness in favor of long-term sadness. You're like a drug addict who is in withdrawal. When you have sad person brain, it's best to let someone you trust, who is not involved in this situation, advise you. Write your sister back telling her you will contact her if and when you are ready to talk. Until that time, you would like to not hear from her. As for your husband, lawyer up and tell him to A, not contact you again, and B, eat 1,000 fiery dicks because whatever this was is now over. Personally, I don't think the sister deserves to get a response. She has a ridiculous amount of nerve to consciously steal her sister's husband and then ask that she still stay in her life. How selfish can a person get? Holy crap. 2 things. 1, I am so sorry this is all happening to you. This must be a clusterfuck of emotions to deal with. Internet hugs from a stranger is all I can offer. 2, time to salt the earth. Cut the both of them out. No contact, nothing. You're not pregnant. I'm happy and sad for you, so there is literally no reason to ever talk to either of them again. Screw your sister for being a stupid, selfish cow, and screw him for being an idiot. I don't know what to say beyond that. And now to update number 2. Hello everybody. First of all, thank you for all of your advice. Thank you for all the people that PM'd me. I didn't want to make an update, but I feel like you guys deserve to know what happened after all the help I received. One of the most common questions I got was about my mother. Well, I talked to my mother again, and she informed me that she has known about my sister having a thing for my husband for quite some time. She didn't want to tell me because she said she was trying to get my sister to give up the idea, and she did not want me to be hurt. She got my sister to agree to let it go a few months ago, and never heard anything more about it, so she thought that it was over. In the letter that I got in the mail, I did not want to write it all down because it was very painful. A few days has passed, and I'm ready to share some more information, but please don't ask for more, because I am simply not comfortable sharing the rest of the letter. In the letter, Lisa apologized for her behavior, but also went on to blame me, and said that I flaunted my happiness in front of her with my husband. She wrote that she couldn't stand to see how happy we were, and how he genuinely loved me, and she had no one. She told me I should have reached out to her alone, and that I had no business getting my husband involved. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. He's my damn husband. I'm not supposed to involve him in a serious matter like that? She also went on to say that my husband told her he never really loved me, and that she was who he really wanted to be with, and asked me not to contact him. She wants me to go through her if I want to say anything to him, and that she will bring over the divorce papers in a few weeks. I've had a few days to process this information, but the more I think about it, the more confusing it seems to me. Then I got more information today. Lisa is pregnant. She's frickin' pregnant. She says it's Rick's. Rick called me as soon as he heard my father informed me. I picked up my phone, only because I wanted to hear how he could lie to my face and tell me nothing happened between them before that kiss. He told me that he was so sorry and he didn't want it to happen this way, that my father wasn't supposed to tell me. I started crying and asking him how he could get pregnant with Lisa when we were trying for a baby. Then he said something that stunned me so much, my head is still spinning from it. Rick told me he could still get me pregnant if I wanted. WTF? I screamed at him, why the fuck would I want to get pregnant with his child when he's a piece of crap? He told me he wanted to be with both me and my sister, and that he thinks he is polyamorous. I was so shocked that I started laughing. After I stopped laughing, he tried to say something else. Then I heard Lisa enter the room and ask who he was on the phone with. He said nobody and hung up. A little while later, my sister texted me and told me she would bring over the divorce papers in a week and expected me to sign them on the spot as my husband is giving me everything. She gave me a heads up that they are getting married next month and I am invited to the wedding if I agree to pretend like I was never even romantically involved with my husband. I am literally at such a loss right now. Who the hell is this man and where is the one I married? Why the F after all this crap do I still want to be with him even though I know I can't be? I just want the man I've been with for the past 10 years back. I hate Lisa, and I no longer consider her my sister. She has ruined my entire life. But what do I do about my husband? He just texted me right now saying he still wants to be with me, loves me, and wants a baby with me. Why is he doing this to me? Why am I even considering it? And now in the comments, I know you're devastated right now, but all I can say is that their relationship will be the nuclear shit show to end all shit shows. Tell him to serve you the papers himself, and while signing the papers, look him in the eye and tell him simply, you're screwed. Because he is. You have 2 less batshits in your life, and possibilities galore. He's stuck with a crazy cow for the next 20 years, while he gets to watch you live an awesome life. If you really want to fuel this crap storm, print out the texts he sent you and hand them to your sister when she drops off the divorce papers. Do not agree to sign them on the spot, take them to a lawyer. Just swap papers with the sister and shut the door and watch them blow up their own lives. Your sister is frickin' nuts. I'm sorry, but that is the only conclusion I can gather from this post. She's just using your husband. I'm not defending him, cause he's a frickin' moron, to get back at you for having what she can't have. Divorce this POS and keep your sister far away from you. I wouldn't be surprised if the pregnancy is a lie to get you to stay away from him. Your sister sounds seriously unstable. Sign the papers and make it clear you want nothing to do with either of them. Good luck, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this craziness. If she really is pregnant, I feel so much pity for this poor baby. I am already predicting their marriage will go down in flames based on how they met, how they're acting, and how quickly they're holding up together because they probably don't know anything about each other. Your husband probably thinks she'll be like you, plus more awesomeness. She probably thinks he's going to be freaking awesome, as she's only seen the good side. The fact she was envious of your relationship, didn't know how to figure out her emotions, and seduced your husband point to the fact that she's not emotionally healthy. She's probably rebounding pretty damn hard after the loss of her partner and is in a shitstorm of emotions, obvious by the aforementioned drama. When both sides have gotten used to a routine and see things clearly, it'll be chaotic to say the least. Take care of yourself, lady. You deserve better, and work on being content. You will get your satisfaction eventually. Calm as a bitch. I feel sorry for the child. And now on to update number 3. I know this update is long overdue. To be honest, the reason why I didn't update anymore was because I made pretty poor decisions that I was ashamed of and didn't want to face the reality of my situation. I wish I could come here and tell you all that I was strong and cut Rick and Lisa out of my life, and I moved on with my life, updating to tell you how much better off I am without them a year later. Sadly, that is not the case. I screwed up bad. One commenter told me that I have something called a sad person brain. I remember reading it and being in denial, but now that so much time has passed, this was absolutely the truth. I wanted to do anything to make my pain stop, so I did. I would appreciate if I didn't get reamed for the choices I made. What is done, and I need help now. Thank you in advance. If you remember my last post, Rick and I were trying to get pregnant before he left me for my sister, and wanted to even after he did because he thought he might be polyamorous. At the time, I laughed at him because of how absurd it was, but after he hung up that call, the offer got more and more tempting. I started thinking about it, becoming enraged at my sister for doing what she did to me, thinking that I could get back at her by doing it, throwing it in her face that her new boyfriend doesn't love her more than me at all. I was so angry that I heavily considered doing it. The more I thought about it, the more I wanted to, out of sheer petty revenge. Don't get me wrong, I also wanted my husband and my life back, but the thought of seeing my sister's newfound happiness and smugness over me come crashing down gave me a pleasure that I never would have imagined. My sister tried very hard to keep my contact with Rick limited. I think she was afraid that he would come back to me if she didn't. She was only able to accomplish this for a few months. Rick tried to contact me in numerous ways during this time, but it was always very brief. I was still angry and non-receptive to his advances, but he started becoming more and more aggressive, telling me how much he loved me, how much he missed me, and how much he still wanted me. I even tried blocking him on certain social media accounts, but he kept trying on others. I know I should have just blocked him on everything, but I just couldn't. The more he tried, the harder it was for me to say no. Unfortunately, this resulted in us getting back together. I told him I wouldn't stay with him unless he left my sister. He swore to me up and down he loved me more than anything, and facing losing me made him realize it, and that my sister was nothing to him. Everything was amazing between us again. It was like old times, and like my sister didn't even exist when he was with me. Yet every night he would go back to her. Stupidly, I decided to believe him when he said he was just waiting for the right time, and excuse after excuse about how bad he felt for her. Things felt so much better when he was back with me. I didn't want to lose him again. Unfortunately, I ended up getting pregnant because I did not recontinue my birth control from when we were trying for a child before any of this happened. At the time, we were both ecstatic, and everything seemed like it was a dream come true. I had my husband back, we were having a child, and my life was no longer in pieces. I was so happy that I turned a blind eye to everything obviously screwed up about the situation. I didn't want to see it. I just wanted to stay happy. It wasn't long before Lisa found out, and my entire family turned on me. My parents told me how it seems like I just did this out of retaliation and to hurt Lisa. They weren't completely wrong, but I mainly just wanted my old life back. Long story short, Lisa went absolutely berserk. She threatened to kill me and sent me a long list of never-ending harassing texts, emails, and calls. I endured hell from her and my family for months until I had to get a protective order. This only resulted in my family hating me even more. Now none of them will speak to me, and Rick has been issued an ultimatum by them to cut me off or be cut off. He hasn't decided on what he's going to do yet, but it seems like he's leaning towards cutting me off, as he has been communicating with me less and less these past weeks. Not to mention, there has been mounting pressure from the family for him to finalize the divorce, but it hasn't happened for various reasons. The last thing he told me was that he feels badly, but that he loves her, and passive-aggressively insinuated that I tempted him into trying to get back with me. Which is complete bullcrap because he was the one who kept pursuing me. He said that I shouldn't have gotten pregnant because now I've made his life so much harder. How I let myself believe he was the man I married again is beyond me. Now all I see is how clouded my judgment has been and the utter mess that I've gotten myself into. How I wanted to be happy again so bad, I destroyed my life even more trying to get that back. I'm 8 months pregnant and scared. I don't know how I can raise this baby alone. I really don't want to give her up for adoption, and the pain of losing my husband twice is unbearable. Even though I know that it was because of my own stupidity, I still love him and can't believe everything he has done to me. Losing my entire family over this has also been a huge kick when I'm at rock bottom. Most of our mutual friends have distanced themselves from us because no one wants to take sides, but it's obvious they are all quite disgusted with the way things have turned out. I have no one left now. Please help me, Reddit. How can I fix the mess that I've made my life into? And now in the comments, pick a different city and move. Change your number, make the whole thing unlisted, and start again. Holy crap. I am truly shocked what your family, sister, and Rick did to you. None of them deserve you. It's okay to be afraid, confused, and angry. Your family should have had your back the entire time and cut off your sister. This is what you need to do. 1. Form an emotional support group with your friends. 2. And this is the most important part, get a good lawyer. Your sister will want you to sign the divorce papers so your husband will not have to provide alimony, spousal support, and child support. She is only interested in what's best for her and not you. You must start thinking of what is best for your baby and you. Even if you can afford to take care of the baby on your own, that money can go into a child's college fund. If you cannot afford a lawyer, there are women's help groups for this, and some lawyer will take on this case if your husband has a decent paying job. 3. Save all evidence that your husband cheated on you and your sisters took your husband away from you. If you're in the US, the court system will back you up. Evidence is key here. Save evidence such as the letters that she wrote to you, her texts, your husband's text, and if you have access to your husband's accounts, print any conversation where he cheated on you emotionally or physically with her. Copy all of his bank records and pay stubs. 4. Cut off all contact with Rick, your sister, and any family member that does not support you. If they contact you and you feel the need to say something, then tell them this. Rick was my husband and cheated on me with my sister. I was there for my sister when she needed me the most when her husband died. My sister then took my husband away from me. Knowing the above, you still feel the need to blame me? Please do not contact me anymore, as I feel real family would never do this to me. This is in case your sister is twisting the story. If they show the slightest possibility of blaming you, or defending your sister, or trying to reason with you, then cut contact immediately. And 5. Do not listen to what your sister, Rick, your family, if they are neutral or blame you, want you to do. Rick will never be yours, and will always switch between your sister and you. This will be very emotionally toxic for you. Stay away from Rick. He will say anything for sex. Her family is mad at her for getting pregnant by her husband. It's very clear which daughter is the favorite. I feel bad for her. Her husband is a piece of crap either way. I agree. It's pretty obvious who's the favorite, considering how Lisa pretty much admits that she also moved in on OP's husband because she dared to be happy with him while Lisa was dealing with her grief. And seriously, how screwed up is that? Like, complete insanity. Both her and her husband are just the biggest pieces of crap. I'm confused how OP ended up as the ultimate villain to the family. The sister was far worse, and the husband was beyond awful. Her comments on previous updates that she made 8 years ago show that her sister was probably a golden child, was a really mean person, and was always jealous of OP. She competed with OP in everything and always wanted to get the best. She even always hated how OP had someone for so long, while sister didn't till she met her late husband. This is probably why she felt entitled to her sister's husband. She felt she deserved it more than OP, and her family seems like they always favored the sister. Hence the ending. I gotta say though, OP is responsible for her own situation in the last update, minus the family blaming her and everyone cutting her off. That's just screwed up. But what was she thinking? I understand and sympathize with her, but God, she really made all the wrong choices. For the sake of my sanity, I'm gonna create my own ending. OP left the country and left all of these people behind, built a new life for her kid and herself, gets therapy, eventually meets a new guy, and is now happily married, while the people she left behind are all miserable and suffering from karma. That is the only ending I will accept because the alternative is so scary that I don't think I can survive that. I like this ending and will believe it wholeheartedly. That's the only way this can end because the alternative is just really scary. I don't even want to think about it. I just hope she's safe and happy wherever she is, and I really hope to God she didn't make any impulsive and sad decisions after the last update. Her situation was really, really bad. Anyway guys, that's where I'm going to end today's story. I do hope you enjoyed. If you do, let me know what you thought of it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.